Okay, so you just double-clicked on the Start Xact Copy shortcut on your desktop, and Xact Copy opened up. So now what you want to do is you want to insert the source drive and make sure that all your target drives are connected to the computer. In this particular case, we have listed, and let's just click on the refresh button to see how it works. We have the external card reader connected right now, where I have 64 gigabyte card from my 5D Mark II time-lapse inserted, and you can see that I have 41 gigabyte recorded on it. And then I have the MyBook Duo 16 terabyte external USB hard drive connected, and then two internal drives are listed, C and D. Of course, normally you want to have a dedicated target drive for your Xact Copy backups, and in my case, it's MyBook Duo 16 terabyte, from which I then make my own backup. However, you might want to connect two identical, or not identical in your case, drives of sufficient capacity, and then tell Xact Copy to back up your source to two targets and not just one. And how do you do that? You just click on source, you click on target. In my case, I only have one target, not two. You can see that the Xact Copy accepted that the source is drive G, and the data flow goes into the target drive E, which is exactly what we want. Then we're going to start backup by clicking on this button, and the window will pop up that will allow you to enter your information. In this window, you actually have a leeway to either start typing your information directly, or you can simply scroll back through the projects by using up and down button. Down button goes back in time. Previous record where we had Project New York and we had description like that, but we want to modify it in this case, and we want to enter the description for our particular backup here. So I'm going to say time-lapse NYC cranes and basically save it. Now, if I'm not so sure what exactly that is on the card, then right here within the Xact Copy interface, I can drill inside the image folder and then use these buttons to navigate. You see the arrow up button backs me out of the folder I'm in, so I can actually navigate the structure of the card being backed up. All that has no bearing on the actual backup progress, by the way. Or I can double click on Excel to have extra large thumbnails of the drives of the images on the card. Or I can have D, which is the details of each file. Or I can double click on L, it's just a large, not extra large representation of the files. And then I can scroll down and make sure that I know what I'm entering here in the description. So once I know it, I'm gonna, and make sure that everything is fine, I'm gonna click OK Save. And now, see, all the while the backup was continuing, but we used that time to already scroll back, enter the description that we wanted for this particular backup. Now we're going to wait until the backup has ended, but in the meantime, please look at the details. How can you tell that the backup is progressing? Of course, if you have a lot of small files, you might want to watch the files as they are being backed up. But also, if you have one large file, for example, you're going to have just one file displayed here for a while. In the meantime, the backup is still going on. So you have a couple of ways to monitor the progress of the actual backup. First of all, you're going to have this binary code here that shows the data flow from the source to the target. And secondly, you have percentage remaining. Now, percentage may or may not change that frequently. However, you have a little blinker here. You see how it changes the background? And of course, this binary. And then again, you can monitor the actual speed of the transfer. In this particular case, we have almost 80 megabytes per second. So you can always tell how fast your weakest link is, because this transfer speed is going to be affected by a number of factors, such as how fast is your source card or drive, how fast is your target card or drive, and how fast is your connection of either one to the host computer that Xact Copi is running on. And now we're going to just basically jump to the end of the transfer. Now we are a few minutes in, and of course another way of monitoring the progress of the transfer is the progress bar. That is this horizontal bar here that fills green and will be completely green at the end of the transfer. You can see the percentage remaining is just 3, and when the transfer is completed, which is just about now, you will see the very clear indication of it, and hear it too. And that's the indication. You see the progress bar disappears, the binary code disappears, percentage remaining is 0, but we have unavoidable blinking green bar now at the top, which we can click to stop it from blinking and making this annoying sound. I clicked on it, it stopped, but the indication is still there. So even across the room, if I take a look at my laptop, which Xact Copi is running on right now, I can see that this particular backup has finished. If I was within the distance from the laptop, from the screen, that I could hear the audible indication of it, I would of course hear it as well. The level of the audible indication is regulated by you. You can mute it completely, or you can set it in the range between 25 and 100 with any kind of partial increments in between, or just simply by clicking on the big bars that let you jump in spades. Right now it's just at about half of the volume. So we have finished the backup. We want to format our source. If we click on F button here, which is especially convenient if you are on a tablet where it's really hard to see the tiny Windows Explorer interface and right click on the correct drive and make sure that is correctly formatted. So for this reason, because we expect Xact Copi to work on locations where it probably will run on Windows tablets, we have built in the F button here, and we're going to click on that. F stands for the formatting. We're going to confirm that yes, we want to format the source drive G. The standard Windows formatting interface pops up, and at this point we can simply use that to quick format your source, or you can go for the full format, which is going to take forever. But basically what we want to do, we want to prepare our card. In this case, it's a 64 gigabyte CF card from 5D Mark II. We just want to prepare it as quick as possible to be put back into the camera. So we are going to go for the start, and we have the standard Windows warning, and that's it. Just as like that, the formatting is completed, and we're closing this Windows interface. We still have an indication of what happened before with the backup. We see what source drive was before we formatted it. We see the state of the target drive, and we see that the previous operation, which in this case was the backup of source G to target E, has completed successfully. Otherwise we would not have this green bar, and we would not have the verbiage of the backup finished and verified successfully. Okay, so thank you very much for watching. That was an example of how to back up your source to a single target, and you can see more details and more information about Xact Copi, as well as get the free demo and buy your license for Xact Copi software at the website xactcopi.com.